Hi everyone, my name is Sagstar, Master of Scary Stories. Welcome to my channel. I am here today to share with you the legend of Lechuza. So I haven't done a video for a while, so just please bear with me if I'm not doing so well. Plus, I'm also a little bit sick. And I haven't, it's been like months since I've done a video, just, doing life, having jobs and kids and doing, just doing what I need to do. But I'm back. And I'm very happy to be making videos again because I just really like doing it. And I like telling stories, especially crazy ghost stories. And I love like sharing all of this stuff with everyone. So, Lechuza. If you don't know what Lechuza literally translates from Spanish to English as an owl. So that's what it is. It's an owl. No big deal, right? Wrong. Okay, so if you live in some parts of the country, you might think of this magical, or not magical, but majestic, like flying bird who's really beautiful. But if you live in other parts of the world, like let's say Mexico or like the Southeast Texas, you are not going to have that same feeling when you think of an owl, or in this case, Lechuza. Um, People in this parts of the country or of the world view Lechuza as a supernatural, mystical being who is very, very scary. So, what is Lechuza? What is it actually? Well, Lechuza, for people who have seen it, describe it as an actual bird with the head of an old lady. Okay, yeah, creepy. Um, the creature is said to be 7 feet tall and also have like a wingspan of 15 feet. So very scary, very creepy, huge in stature. Some people have said that it is super, super bright white. Other people say that it is like dark, very dark, like super black, midnight color. But now you might be thinking, why does it have an old lady head? Like, why does this weird creature just have a weird old lady head? Well, there is some theories to this. One is that Lechuza used to be a woman who was wronged in some way. So stories range from her child being killed by a drunkard, um, or also her being killed by a drunkard. Another story is that she, was just a regular woman with a regular life and a husband, and the husband used to beat her and beat her so bad that he actually killed her. Um, and yet, even another story goes that Lala Chuza was actually an old lady who was a healer in this village. And the people of the village actually turned against her. They formed a mob, they accused her of witchcraft, and they ended up killing her. So now Lala Chuza is back for revenge on people who are doing evil or doing evil things to other people. So don't be doing evil things to other people because you might have Lechuza on your butt. So yet another theory, which is a lot more scarier, is that Lechuzas are actually not just one person, but a series of people and specifically witches. Okay, so these are witches who turn themselves into owls at night. They practice black magic and they feed off of innocent people. In particular, they lure children and adults out of their homes at night by making weird sounds. And, it said like some high pitched sounds they'll make, or they'll even make like crying, whining sounds like babies. So when the adult or the child goes out to investigate, La Lechuza swoops down and carries them away in their huge long talons. So there's a lot of different characteristics besides like having the human old lady head and the huge almond shaped eyes. La Lechuza um, is also believed to control lightning and thunder. So it is said that if there is unusual patterns in weather, to be on the lookout for La Lechuza. It says that it actually can control the thunder and the lightning. And in this way is very similar to Thunderbirds, which is from American Indian culture. La Lechuza has that very distinct cry. It makes a high-pitched crying sound to lure people out of their homes. And also, it is said when the witchers are on the hunt that they will hunt in packs and hide in trees and whistle to one another, as like communication between them. It is also said that La Lechuza could be like a sign of death. So if you happen to come in contact with one, that means either you or somebody that you know is going to die very soon. So it's kind of like a warning sign. And also, that kind of reminds me of the next bird that we will get into in the next video. So the next video is going to be about the Mothman. So harbingers of doom, and this La Lechuza kind of in the way is like a harbinger of doom in that way as well. La Lechuza is truly dangerous and clearly no match for humans. However, there are some ways that you can protect yourself against it. So one of the ways is that you can get a rope and tie it into a knot, um, 7 knots on it, and hang it on your door or by your windows so that La Lechuza cannot pass through. Another is a mixture of salt and chili powder. So what you're going to do is you're going to mix these two things together, and you can pour it all around your house. And that way La Lechuza can't come in. Or if you're being attacked from La Lechuza, you can actually grab it and throw it at La Lechuza and it will fly away. Let's get into the stories of La Lechuza. So there are 2 stories of this creature messing with people while they are driving late at night. I don't know what it is. It's like the dark deserted road is its stomping grounds or something, but supposedly that's where people see La Lechuza a lot. So one is a story that takes place in El Tigre, Chihuahua. So there was this man who was driving his truck, and all of a sudden a huge owl appeared out of nowhere and struck his windshield. Then it landed on the hood of his truck and fell in front of the truck. And the man was so freaked out that he ran over it. He not only ran over it once, but he proceeded to back up over it again and again. And then he, leaves and drives forward and looks up at his windshield. And when he looks behind him, he sees La Lechuza getting up and rising again. And he is so freaked out that he has a heart attack right on the spot, right there. So La Lechuza is very dangerous. The other story takes place late at night outside of Batesville on Highway 57 in Texas. So there was 3 women who were on their way home from a shopping spree in San Antonio. And as they were driving, a bird flies down in the front of the hood of the car. Then it goes back around to the side of the driver and just proceeds to fly next to the window, like keeping up with, you know, this car. And at this point, they're going super fast trying to get away from La Lechuza. Well, all of a sudden, the engine just dies. And they're like pulling over to the side of the road. So the engine's dead. So they're just like rolling over to the side of the road. And they immediately lock all of the doors. And they notice La Lechuza has disappeared. They are completely freaked out. And then in seconds, their car starts up again and out of nowhere. So it's just like a freak accident, or not a freak accident, but weird. Anyways, there's also some really crazy stories about the witches. The witches are said to be the real La Lechuzas, who they really are, like these evil witches who, feed on the innocent, and they, practice witchcraft and, eat children. So there are also really crazy stories about the witches that are said to be who the real Lechuzas. One story takes place in the 1950s. It's in a small town near Nuevo Laredo. Um, there was an old lady who the townspeople all suspected of being a witch. I mean, she was living alone by herself in the middle of nowhere, outside of the town in a cottage, and naturally they suspect she's a witch, right? I mean, God forbid she's just an old lady, but that's just my opinion. So all the townspeople decide that this lady is a witch and that they're going to, find out the truth once and for all and catch her. So what they do is one of the townspeople actually uses his child for bait. I mean, we're probably not talking about Father of the Year, but I guess it was a good idea to them to have this child go out in the middle of the night, um, in like the dark by itself, and just hang out and wait for Lala Chusa to come and swoop him up and take him away. So that's exactly what they did. This child goes, they put him out for bait, and they're all like surrounding him and hiding in the bushes where Lala Chusa can't see them. And then so they're like waiting and waiting, and then all of a sudden, here comes Lala Chusa swooping down, grabbing the child with its huge talons, and all of a sudden they all come out of the bushes and they start shooting the owl. Well, apparently they're not very good at shooting or hunting, because they actually only shot it one time in the foot. So one of them gets lucky, shoots La Lechuza in the foot. La Lechuza drops the kid and flies away. Okay, so that's the story. Then the next day, they're all gonna go and see this lady and see, was it really this old lady who was La Lechuza? And they knock on her door, and when they get there, she opens the door, and lo and behold, she has her foot bandaged up. So they must have been right. She was the real La Lechuza. So there's also another story that takes place in 1977. It takes place in Santa Rosa, Texas, on the U.S. side of the border. So one night, the people spotted La Lechuza hiding in a tree, getting ready to attack its prey. So they all see it. They all start shouting, pointing, causing a ruckus. They begin gathering around it, and La Lechuza gets scared and flies to like this person's door and starts scratching at it frantically, like it's trying to attack the door. Well, all the townspeople get their dogs together and they sick their dogs on La Lechuza, and it scares La Lechuza away. So they're all like, woohoo, victory, we beat La Lechuza, and they're all proud of themselves and celebrating. But turns out the next morning when they wake up, they find all of their dogs are dead. Okay, so they didn't get La Lechuza after all, is what I'm saying. La Lechuza got them. So, scary, scary stuff. La Lechuza is very widely known in, the southern part of USA, northern part of Mexico. It's kind of a way, I think, to just like keep the little kitties in at night and not wandering around in the dark. But many people have said they've seen it. And to people who live in that area, it's very, very real. So thank you once again for letting me share this legend of La Lechuza. Um, and I just want to say thank you. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And also put on the notification bell because I'm already working on my next video, which is going to be about the Mothman, which actually is way more exciting to me. I don't know. There's something with these birds and the creepiness of birds, like, you know, birds are usually seen as like messengers, harbingers of doom, messengers, and they're warning you that something bad is going to happen. So that kind of leads into the Mothman. And if you know anything about the Mothman, it's a very interesting. So make sure you come back for that video. Thank you.